back to another Elevated Marketing Dad podcast, which in reality, I just get to hang out with Brenna and talk about marketing. So, that's fun. But for everybody else, this is where we simplify complicated digital marketing topics to make your business grow. So today, we talked about it pre-show, but I really struggle with having a podcast or talking about AI because it just almost seems cringy anymore to really talk about it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we feel that way because a lot of times it's not used how maybe it was intended.
Yeah. It's almost like I'm not the person to jump on a bandwagon and talk about a topic because everybody else is, or it's going to get me more views or whatever have you. So I've been avoiding this subject for that reason because I'm like, I don't want to do it. But we're going to do it today, Brenna, because it's all about evolving. Mm-hmm. So today's question is, would the person you are now be friends with your middle school self?
I think so. I mean, obviously I've changed and I've grown a lot. But one thing that's never changed is I don't know, my kindness for others. I was the super nice kid growing up, and so that meant sometimes people would take advantage of that. I think I would be a great friend to my middle school self because I don't do that. I don't take advantage of people.
Yeah, you'd like to think that you'd be a great mentor, hey, here's what you can grow into.
Sure. Yeah.
I think I would be friends with that person. I'm still at the root who I am. I'm a dork. I'm a nerd. I like to learn, and I'm still just as outgoing as I was then, and still can be just as inverted as I was at that time. So I think it's the crazy high school years where you're trying to latch on to all these people, and it's that wasn't really me.
Yeah. Just on our way to finding ourselves.
Well, I feel the same way when it comes to AI. I think a lot of people have kind of evolved in using AI, and specifically we're going to talk about in marketing and how they use it. And it's definitely been a journey for us, and I think I might have been a little turned off by it at first, but now that we've kind of found our way, I'm all about it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of benefits to using AI as a tool, but I think it is kind of getting your feet wet first and playing around with it, getting a little bit more comfortable with it, and then
I think it's what I want to really talk about today is how you can use AI and the different ways that you can use it that will help you really use it to not replace you, but make you better.
Mm-hmm. Help it help you.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it. Because, if some of the things are, if you use AI the first time it comes out, then that's not you. And if you don't correctly kind of guide AI, then that's not you. And so the output that you get is going to be very repeatable by other people, and it's not going to be original. And so I'm trying to flip the script on how you use AI to help you as a tool, not a do it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, it can help you do research. It can help you create ideas. It can brainstorm with you. It can summarize things. It can provide transcripts. It it can be used in a variety of different ways from a marketing aspect, but I've seen some people that are using it maybe as a, like, let's just take what it comes out of it, time saver, so I can go make more money. And I think you're really missing the point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever put this input into Chat GPT, for example, but asking AI to give you a strategy, how
Yeah.
generic is that? You know, the
Yeah.
output that you get. And so I think a lot of people maybe use it to really be the brain power behind a lot of things, and that's just not sustainable.
No, it gives you like kind of talking points that you can start with, but it doesn't have to be like the end all. And I think when it comes to marketing, like, the prompts that you use help guide it to the outputs that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a real generic, like, hey, create me a blog post on this topic, but you don't give it more information about, like, okay, well, who am I talking to? Because you can take one subject, and how you talk to, like, maybe an engineer versus a teacher is going to be completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we know too with AI, a lot of the words and languages being used and those generic outputs are not really humanized.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, giving in the prompt, like your audience, who you're talking to, that's definitely going to help kind of niche down the way you're talking to that audience.
Well, also, like, you can get like your own style. So, are you normally casual, formal? Like, are you witty? Like, what is the language style that you normally use? And I think that helps the output be better.
Definitely. And it's also, I mean, again, more personalized to you and your brand, which of
Mm-hmm.
course we know also brings in more value. I mean, we've gone over that a couple of times in some recent episodes of providing that value and being a resourceful, kind of addition to this content driven world. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think too, some other things that we've kind of done to use AI is starting with our own voices and our own content, maybe like an audio version, like we're doing right here, and then using that to create other pieces of content. And why that makes that better is because we're feeding it examples of who we are, and it's able to create additional content. And then we're still just not even taking that content right at face value. It's just like the starting point to continue on.
Right. It's just helping us get through some of that legwork to perhaps transcribe whatever audio we're putting in instead of, maybe
Yeah.
manually do something like that. We
And
have
instead of
now.
instead of staring at a blank screen, I've got something to work with.
Yep.
I can mold it into something else.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think that's the important part. Yeah, and using tools like GPT, that basically can continue to learn as you guide it. You can create GPTs for specific reasons within ChatGPT that are specific to you, and you don't have to like continuously tell it, okay, here's who I'm talking to, here's my tone, here's my style. It takes a lot of, maybe that prompting out that you wouldn't have to do otherwise.
Yeah, and they're very useful too, like long term. And even if you have more instructions to give it, you can still go back and kind of revise and add to your original prompt, which is really great.
Oh yeah, like continuous
Mhm.
learning there for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I think about is some of the ethics, and that like some of the AI and what it's able to do, like it might not be, yeah, we can do it, but it might not be a great idea for marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary out there the more you dig.
Yeah.
And even scrollers on social media, you might be watching some AI and you don't really
Not
even
even
know it's
know
AI.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw that recently this week, and it's like, I'm really glad that, we get on video and it's us and we are who we are, and we're not using it in that way. But,
Yeah.
just like with anything in this world, I think people can take the good and the bad out of it. So you're going to have your good and bad players. But if you kind of step that back as a marketing, like, if your entire brand and everything you create is based on a lie, that's
Mhm.
not going to play out well.
Yeah. I mean, we as marketers, we strive to earn our audience's trust, right? And so if we're in a way neglecting all of that credibility that we've built up from this point on, like, yeah, it's just not, it really could be a bad look.
Yeah. So there's definitely situations where, like I said, like you could, but is that a great idea?
Yeah.
Like, but I think if we wouldn't have had the approach of, okay, this is a tool,
Mm-hmm.
we're not afraid of it, it's not a replacement, like, we have to use AI as a idea starter, and then independent thinking closes the process to the marketing, not AI.
Yeah, yeah, we really can't rely on it. You have to think of it as like a leisure product that we now have access to. Like, oh, this is great to have
Yeah.
this as a resource, but just not relying on it.
I think the moment you give in and just let AI do the marketing for you and you are not an active participant in it is when you're going to lose.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that 100%.
Because anybody that's using AI, there's lots of ways for us to know that that was AI generated. And I could see it in social media posts where people are calling it out
Mhm.
left and right. And it's like, you know what? You got caught, and that's not going to go over
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't, if you're not detecting some of these very, very high red flying flags that AI was used to generate something, you know,
The human ones, like human interaction, human element, and with marketing, it's always about grabbing somebody's attention. And if everybody starts sounding the same, you're going to lose that element. And so that's why you just have to flip the script. Don't be all the way over here on, oh, don't use AI. No, use AI, but use your brain to finish the process and actually come up with something usable.
yes, yes. And always, always, always keep your audience in mind first. Your audience is not
Yes.
going to respond to in the dynamic world of marketing.
We all know that's AI. All right. Well, as much as I cringed talking about this topic, I think we got the point across that we are human here. We are live people talking, and we will continue to be live people talking. I don't think I will use it for those methods. So, if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are listening on a podcast, we'd certainly enjoy your review if it was worth it, so that others can find this podcast as well. And we certainly put together a newsletter both on our website and LinkedIn as well. So you can go follow me, Jennifer Denny, and get that newsletter. All right, take care.